Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm the founder of Rich 20 Something. Every week I get a ton of questions from readers like you. And one of the biggest questions, one of the most frequently asked questions is, Daniel, how do I start a business quickly and how do I make sure it's profitable right away? And a lot of times we don't even realize that we can start our businesses very quickly, often within 24 hours or less. And we often can set them up so that they're profitable from day one. And I actually developed a method to do this. It's called the Marsupial Method. And the whole idea of the Marsupial Method is just like a baby marsupial or a joey, like a baby kangaroo, you stay in the pocket. It's all about finding where your customers are and collecting them without having to go out and market to them very hard. So here's how this works. And I want you to remember that as I talk about my specific experiences and tell you how I did it, apply it to your own business. I'm going to give you specific examples about my company, but it works if you think about it on the meta level. Think about the meta level and think about how you can apply it to your own ideas. Okay, so my first business that was profitable enough to support me was an SAT, ACT test prep company. And the Marsupial Method has 4 parts. The first part is identifying who your real customers are. So, when I say real customers, who is actually buying your product or service? Is it a distribution company? Is it another business? Is it an end user like a consumer? Who is it? So in this case, I knew that I had a client base willing to buy my skills, buy my time, because when I worked for Kaplan, Kaplan was charging families about $100 an hour to work with me, but I was getting 18. So I thought to myself, okay, I know the skill is valuable. Now who are my real customers? My real customers were not the actual students I was helping, it was the parents, right? Because parents pay for high schoolers' education and extracurriculars. So I knew I had to find where the parents I was looking for were located, or who they were exactly. And I knew that I wanted to get very specific about the types of parents I was looking for. So I thought, okay, I want parents in affluent neighborhoods, with a good amount of disposable income, who are looking to put their children in great schools, in great colleges, and are willing to spend extra money to do it. So I got very specific about the student or about the parents I was looking for, right? Because they are my real client. So who's your real client? It might not be who you think it is. So take it down a couple levels and really think about who's using your product or service. That's the first step, finding your real customer. The next step is, okay, I found my real customer. Now I need to identify who are they already doing business with, okay? So in my case, what I came to learn after some research is that there are actually private admissions counselors who help families and students get into the colleges they want by packaging them very well. And part of that packaging, of course, is the test prep part of the application. So you have to find where these people are already doing business. So let's say you want to start a personal training company. Well, maybe maybe the people who you already want to do business with, maybe they're people with some disposable income who are interested in fitness, who want to know better ways to eat healthy and work out. So maybe Whole Foods is a place where they're already doing business, or maybe there's a clinic where they're already doing business. Or let's say you wanted to start a consulting company where you wanted to consult on social media. Well, where are your existing customers? Well, they're probably already on social media, and they're probably in specific Facebook groups about social media promotion because they have those. So think about where your customers are already doing business. In my case, they were already doing business, and they were already giving their money to these private admissions counselors. So I said, okay, I've identified who they are. I've identified who they're already spending their money with. The next step is to go to these people that they're already spending their money with, these people, these organizations, and say, hey, I noticed that you're already doing business with XYZ people. Just so happens, I have a service that can help you. In my case, it was test prep. So I said, hey, private admissions counselor, I see that you're already doing business with people who want to get into great colleges. But I know that you don't teach college test prep. You just package things. Wouldn't it be great if I could be your go-to test prep provider? Now, I've worked for Kaplan before, and they're already going to need to get help in this area. So this isn't a new service. It's something that they already need. But if you were to send me some of your clients, I'd love to give you a small portion of my profits. Plus, it will make it much easier on you because you won't have to worry about scheduling classes for them for Kaplan. You won't have to worry about them getting booked. You won't have to worry about them doing it because I'll check in with you to make sure that the students are doing all the work. That means that students get better scores. They get into the schools that they want. You look better. I get clients. And you get some money from it. So it's a win-win-win. Think about this. I was able to provide the private admissions counselors with a go-to guy who they knew could deliver. They were able to get some money back from that. I was able to get paid for that. And here's the bonus. the parents actually got a huge win from this because the courses for Kaplan, usually the packages start around about $1,000 for a typical classroom course. Now, $1,000 is no small investment, but what I did was I said, you know what? Since I don't have all this overhead to pay, since I'm just one person, I'm totally fine with doing a class for $300. Now, that might seem small, but if you host a class of 30 students for $300, that's $10,000. That's the volume effect, and that's what happens when you don't have a middleman between you and the services you're providing. You are the service provider, and you're collecting the money as well because you're the business owner. So I remember the first time I had a class for about, it was like 28 kids, and I brought home like $10,000. And it was so awesome because it was a 6-week class, and I was only teaching one time a week for 2 hours, so it was 12 hours of total work, maybe about 15, maybe 20 hours with grading and stuff and talking to people, but still about 20 hours of work for about $10,000. And I remember coming home and I had all these checks and a lot of cash on the floor and in a envelope, and I just dumped it on the floor. And my girlfriend was looking at the money. She's like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do with all this money?" It was amazing. But that's the idea. I was able to identify my customer, find out who they're already doing business with, go to the person that they're already doing business with, and offer massive value. So in this case, offering value to both yourself, the other service provider, and their clients, and then you stay in the pocket. That's step 4, stay in the pocket. Continue to build that relationship with the service provider. Then you have joint interests. You get more clients. They get better results. Everyone's happy. That's how the Marsupial Method works. So my takeaways for this are, how can you identify who your real customer is? And then once you do that, where are they actually doing business with already? And then after that, how can you provide massive value to the people who they're already doing business with and form a partnership that will allow you to get started very quickly with a very little amount of marketing and a very high profit margin quickly. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Talk later.